Motivational shit. Subscribe if you feel the vibe. Previously on the last episode of Motivational Shit, we started off in 2024 with Raheem Devon talking about. Well, excuse me. Yo, I said Raheem Devon, bro. I said Raheem Devon. Excuse me. Shout out to my brother Raheem Shabazz, where we talked about the episode of how to help the black family. Now, today, we are here with champion, the legendary man himself, Keith Lewis. I'm a father first. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Hey. And we are here to discuss how to help your kids tap into their superpower, how to help your kids become a Super Saiyan, how to help your kids become the greatest version of themselves. And you are tuned in to Yale Radio Cast, to Motivational Shit. So like, comment, and subscribe. Parents, tune into this episode. We gonna get into it. We gonna laugh. We gonna talk. And we're gonna talk our shit too. So hey, let's get it.
Get it. Man, what's happening? Hey, can I just be Wolverine? Can I be Wolverine?
Yes,
can I be Wolverine?
Yes.
Wolverine-ish?
Yes. I'm gonna be Gambit because Gambit was always the player.
Oh. And he always had red eyes too. So hey,
yeah.
What's happening, man?
Hey, man. Hey, I'm feeling good, man. We got my brother, I'm a father first. We got Keith Lewis, man. Hey, bro. It's a pleasure, man. This is like our anniversary, bro.
It's our 2-year anniversary.
Yes, indeed, man. So, we got him back, man, for we could have this conversation. Keith Lewis, man, he's a man that is involved in the community. He focuses on the kids. He has a lot of programs. He networks with a lot of parents, just in a lot of schools and supporters, man. So I had to have him on here, man.
Appreciate that.
Oh, definitely, brother. And I appreciate you. And of course, we got my man Dylan Yale. He's going to be Wolverine today.
Yes.
Swing. Keith, man, what X-Men character you going to be?
Man, I don't know the X-Men characters other than
Bro,
Wolverine.
man, you ain't never watched X-Men?
Oh, my God.
Not for real. I know Storm.
Well, we'll let you be Storm. Hey, your pronouns can be... Never mind.
I can't be Storm.
Yeah.
I am a person first.
I am a person first.
Okay. Well, Keith could be Cyclops.
He could be Cyclops.
Yeah.
Yes, he is the Cyclops.
Yeah.
Has very strong vision.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Very strong vision.
Yes, powerful vision.
Yeah.
Going along with the topic today, bro. Yeah, man.
But into us today, man, happy 2024. For all the parents that's here, your kid is the next generation. Your kid is precious. Your kid is the combination of you and the spouse or the significant other or just the guy you met at the club.
Yeah,
that was.
And your kid is going to be the successor to your legacy. So we want to really break down on how to tap into their superpowers. Now, when people tell you superpowers ain't real, they just don't believe it because superpowers are real. I see my man Keith Lewis using his superpower to help the kids. He's bringing a smile onto them. So you can't tell me superpower. See, a superpower is when you could change another person's world and perspective. That's a true superpower, not doing telekinesis or shooting fireballs. Okay. When you can really help and assist someone, that's a true superpower. And we got so much amazing superhumans, mutants, Avengers out here, Spider-Man people created in the lab.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I could be the Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got this anger that I'm
yeah.
trying to control.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I, depending on what time it is, depending on my temper, might depend on what y'all get.
I get, yeah. So, I want to go. One thing when it comes to these kids is we got to make sure that we have teachers that's going to connect with them, teachers that's going to help elevate them, that's going to understand them. We dealing with a lot in the school system. And the schools is dealing with sometimes lack of funding. The schools is dealing with politics as well. So, speaking of politics, I want to go to a clip that shows what you should probably not do as a teacher, just for a little laugh and jokes.
All right. Let me see. So we ready to do? Are we ready to go here with it?
Yes, we ready to go here with it. Let's start off with some humor.
All right.
So, teachers, this is what you shouldn't do.
What did he say specifically to you?
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn Chambers is a freshman at Valley High School, a Boy Scout, a football player, a member of the ROTC, an honor roll student. He was hanging around his teacher's classroom door in December. The teacher told him to sit down.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door, nigga. And I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says that is not what they trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
He tried to say I said it, and I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it, and I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. Nigga this, nigga please, nigga. Can you lend a nigga a pencil?
And what did he say specifically to you?
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn.
Bro. Keith. Brother Keith.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you lend a nigga some money?
I got you, my nigga. I got you, my nigga, for sure. I definitely got you.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
So, man, let's kind of just talk about that just on the humorous tip, man.
I just want to say that was one of my favorite episodes of the Boondocks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Shout outs to the Boondocks.
Man, if they bring back another season, man. Boy, they try, but yeah.
Yeah. The powers that be, a.k.a. Mr. Perry.
Yeah.
But anyway, but Keith, how do you think it is with some of these teachers? Do you think some of these teachers have a difficulty with connecting with these kids of our generation, especially if they of a different culture?
Man, I would say, first of all, shout out to all the teachers who do that, because we did campus invasion with Clippers and Cops last week, and we went to 3 schools, and then we went to the Ad Promise Center. And by the time we got to the Ad Promise Center, I was overwhelmed. And as you say, I'm always there for these children. But right now, would you say the teachers have a difficulty connecting? It depends. I think some of them may do, but I know like in Atlanta public schools, everybody there is usually a product of the system. So they understand, the money issues. They understand the single parent household. They understand the dress. But, I haven't been to the outskirts like Gwinnett County, Clayton County. But I would say in APS, yeah, they definitely are connected. But I give a big shout out to anybody who's still doing this type of work, because in the school system, it's hard.
And that's one thing I saw, like being a former parapro at APS. I used to work at Atlanta Public Schools, man. Me being in there, I saw definitely challenges with households. I was more dealing with the kids with the kids so-called special needs, if you ask me, no, they don't have special needs. It's just that they have special powers.
Mm.
But the kids
Yeah.
that just deal with just with the difficulties, man, and it was a lot of disruption in the house, and that's kind of like where my role comes in as a youth mentor and social worker to help find a way to navigate that and to help best facilitate the kids and all that. So
Yeah.
you know, I had some good and I had some bad experiences with me working, just as a parapro.
Yeah.
So,
What was one of those bad ones that you can recall?
oh man, one time, man, this kid, he would not get down on the desk. I was like, hey, I need you to get down on the desk. I need you to get down on the desk. So he got down on the desk and he literally tried to kick me in the balls. And
Getting down
due
off the
to,
desk.
yes, yes. And due to my martial arts training, I blocked that
Yeah, you
instinctually.
blocked that.
but he was close though.
He was-
He was close. And I almost really lost it, man.
Yeah.
The assistant parapro had to really hold me back,
Yeah.
bro. I almost lost that, man.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy in them school systems, man. So when they talk about teachers, and it's been a lot of stuff on social media, how would you have responded to this, right?
Yeah.
It's like until you are around that for real and a kid tries to kick you, a kid spits on you, curses at you like you a child, man, I just commend anybody. My dad was an educator for like 20 something years. And boy, I commend him and all the other educators because I'm great to mentor. I tap in and tap out, but I can't be there every day with y'all.
Can't be there every day, man. Hey, it is a challenge.
Yeah, my sister, she was a teacher in the school system for about 30 years. And I was in her class actually for a couple of years. So I actually saw I saw the internal side of the teacher and what she had to deal with getting home. The working side and the after side of the decompressing because of that. And you have a fight within the school system. We had at one point 80 kids in her class because the school was overpopulated. We literally had kids sitting on the benches or the shelves where the water fountain. So sitting right next to the water fountain was a table. So how can you put into kids individually? That was the challenge.
Yeah.
I always talk about meeting these kids where they're at.
Of course.
Kind of like coming down to them, but you can't exclusively do that when you see a kid over here that got a problem. But now it's 10 of these kids that got problems. How do you get to every one of them when you got to teach 20 to 30 kids at a small portion of what each class, 45 minutes? What can you really give to the kid exclusively when you got to roll them in and roll them out? And as a single parent father, I'm trying to work on what my kid needs. And I don't feel like the teacher is giving my kid the best training. But I got to understand, because sitting down with the parents, go to these PTA meetings and talk to these teachers and stop leaving it the teacher's responsibility to teach the kids when actually it's your responsibility to teach the kids. They think the actual work goes in school when it actually starts at home.
It starts at home.
So when my kid get home, it's on me to get him to totally understand this. The teacher gives them the tools. We kind of like cultivate the talent up the schools. So
I have a solution to that. That's where, services like Keith Lewis, services like myself, services like Dr. Barber, one more question comes in because you need an outside unit. That way they could zero in and focus on their kids and build a relationship. And just like you said, Dylan, meeting them in their world, finding an interest. That's how I always navigate with my kids. A lot of kids is in the anime superheroes. I grew up into that. I'm still into that. I still watch that. I still tap in that world. That's how I bridge that connection. And with that, just spending time with the kids, I'm able to find out their gifts. And that brings me, I'm about to get deep real quick. See, a lot of our kids, they focus on the lack. Like for our young men, they focus on, not having the pretty girl, not having the cars and the clothes. But we have to shift the perspective. Because every kid, every person on this planet has a thing that they have an abundance of. Take, for example, so let's say little Tyrone, right? Little Tyrone, he's growing up in the projects, not much clothes. He's getting bullied. He's getting teased. He's not getting much attention. He's getting raised by a single mother, right? And his grandparents. But his grandma is always like, you know what about little Tyrone? Little Tyrone can sure run. A little Tyrone, he always running. He always running down the street, and he's always running pretty fast now. So if we get little Tyrone just to zero in, right? Of course, he needs his needs, and there's outside resources that can help with that. But if he can zero in and just focus on running, focus on maximizing, focus on tapping into that superpower and training, what's going to happen? He starts running track at schools. Other schools starts to see. Next thing you know, schools paying him to come to their college.
Right.
Next thing you know, he's getting different companies to sponsor him, merch, all types of products.
NIL.
Yeah, all types. Yeah, that's the same thing that we see what happened to Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
You know, and next thing you know, he has the money and he has the possessions, he has the resources now to fill the other areas. And that's why we got to focus on the kids' talents, because that's their superpower. Whatever that kid naturally gravitate to, we got to zero in, train that, focus. Your kid should be training on their gifts and their talents. Gifts and talents take you pretty far.
I got a question.
Yes.
How can you as a parent do this or cultivate this when there's a system put in place that keeps you away from being the more dedicated person to doing that? By way of, we'll speak on the father side, but let's just say in-house parenting. And I am in a situation where I'm not as financially stable. So a lot of these things that we speak of take financial positioning to put them into.
Right.
Some of these classes, the parent doesn't have them. Some of these things probably might be able to do, but the parent has to work 2-3 jobs and they're not near around the kid as much as they should be. And you working with kids, both of y'all working with kids, do y'all see the difference in the outcome of the kids when the parent is more involved? Because some of these kids, the parents can be as involved as they want to be, and the child is a knucklehead. So yeah.
I mean, I'll say from my standpoint, because my background was sports, right?
Right.
So first as an athlete, and then marketing, branding, and managing. Anytime a kid, like, first of all, for instance, like when I worked with Ezekiel Elliott and I was working with Odell Beckham's dad.
Wow.
Odell's dad was a star running back at LSU. His wife, Odell's mother, was a star track athlete. With Ezekiel, his dad was a star football player at the University of Missouri. His wife, Dawn, was a star track athlete. So I noticed then the pedigree of a star athlete, right? Both of these guys came from the genetics of star D1 recruited athletes. So imagine how much time was put into that child's upbringing. Like with me, with my children, I don't spend much time with them in sports. I may spend a lot of time exposing them to things like what you may be doing with the mental health and exposing them to different platforms so they can be better. But as far as athletics, because that ain't my lane, when I was doing sports management, I would take them to camps, but it still ain't the same as when you're working with a child every single day to be something in that sport.
Right.
So yeah, money, big thing, the time, and then the transportation. Those are the three areas that a parent is going to have to really step up. And when you don't have those things, it's hard to get a kid that's going to become someone that's a D1 style or professional style athlete.
Yeah. And I say that because speaking on, like I said, I was speaking earlier about my sister who was in the arts, an artist, an art teacher. And that became something that was given to me, a skill and a talent. I've been drawing and painting since 5 years old. Comic books was my first passion of drawing. Spider-Man, Superman was the first things that I started drawing. Then it turned into Transformers, and then it turned into then it turned into my own things, and then it turned into painting. Next thing you know, I'm winning first place awards in the whole county because they stayed on me with that talent of mine of being in arts, my superpower. You know what I'm saying? So, which at the end of the day, you kind of see this entity right here is a cultivation of my superpower, the arts, the
It
visuals.
is.
So media is a form of visual presentation. So what became then, I translated into graphic design, web design, videography, video productions, all from that seed that was planted into me at 5 years old. And they
Right.
kept a finger, a hand on me, sticking to that right there. See what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
and I look at it right now because my brother TR, like, brother, you need to get back to drawing and painting because I was so good at it. But if you look at it, this still is a form of it.
It still is.
What do you, Wayne? What do you think your actual superpower is? Same thing with you, Keith.
My I have um several superpowers. Um I'm one of the mutants with a strong mutant gene.
Okay.
And I have Saiyan blood in me.
Okay.
So, I have several superpowers, but it was drawing though. But the powers all stemmed to the arts. First it was drawing.
Mhm.
Right? I started with drawing too. Started drawing Buzz Bunny, Sonic the Hedgehog, and then that's when I found out about anime. So started drawing anime characters. I started making my own comic books too. And the arts kind of kept me away for some of the distractions, but I kind of got into the distractions because I kind of got into rapping. So I started rapping, started playing with words, doing poetry.
That's art.
And yeah. Still art. And what got me into the mental health side, I never would have even realized that. But I had a flashback when I was young. I remember in my neighborhood going to this guy's house, and this dude, he was like supposedly a street guy, but he was just one time just sitting on the porch, and I was just talking to him. And I remember he was just venting to me. And in the end, he said, he felt really good about talking.
Yeah.
Years later, that was the sign that I was naturally good at therapy, at mental health, at listening. So, and people who stutter are naturally good listeners, man. We gotta make up for something. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we can't be just be like, But so yeah, like that's how I found that out. And
Yeah.
my parents, they always stood with me on the art. And I want to tap in with you real quick to answer your question with the parents needing support. If you're making a low income, that's where the insurance, the Medicaid could come from.
Mm.
If you apply to that, because Medicaid pay for a lot of the
See,
services.
these are things that we need to talk about. A lot of parents don't know. A lot of
Exactly.
people don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. It pays for my services.
Right.
So you're able to use that insurance. And you don't have to take it out of your pocket. So you could get a mentor, and with the Medicaid, it also can extend to other different programs.
Okay.
Extend to other programs. So that's what really, just all in all, I just want the parents just to know that, man. And with the kids being involved into the arts, that's what really helps gear the focus.
Oh yeah. Now the arts is very important, especially for us, black people, melanated people.
Yeah.
Because I think we came from that, right? With the pyramids and
Yeah.
I think the beginning of agriculture, the beginning of architectural design, all that came from our people. So it's like when you think about it, why wouldn't a child be pushed into the arts? Like my son King, my 7-year-old. I was just telling you guys, his superpower is being able to create. Like he literally will play with this YouTube stuff all day long. And he just made 500 subscribers today. And
Hey,
he's probably
Congratulations to my
congratulations,
young King.
Hey, congratulations, young
doing
King.
great
Young
things.
King doing great things. So
Boop, boop, boop.
I told him I would shout out his YouTube today. So King Elijah, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations on your 500 subscribers. So for me, my superpower has always been connecting people. And it's funny because anybody that knows me know you either gonna love or hate Keith. It ain't no really median ground. But I had to realize my superpowers was in
There you
that
go.
because I literally was like, okay, why am I bumping heads with so many people? Now there's a lot of the mental health aspect behind that, right?
Yeah.
But aside from that, it was like it's no difference than Michael Jordan. He made the most points or whatever, but he missed the most shots. Hank Aaron, he had the most home runs, but he had the most strikeouts. So I think in any time you're learning and cultivating that superpower, you got to be willing to stumble a little
Of
bit.
course.
So I think for the children that we talk to, that's what we want to really put in them. Don't give up on yourself. Keep finding yourself, because in this discovery, this trial and error, you're gonna find out what your superpower is.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to get ready to show a clip of what happens when you're not fighting your superpower and you're giving um you're giving whoa, hold up before we show that clip. Actually, I want to Charleston White recently last year, right? He recently said something that was that touched me, because me working in the field, you know, recently said something about the outside influences that are the distractions. So I want us to take a look at that clip.
The delivery? I like girls kissing girls where I'm from, and that's on the radio. Girls on girls, that's promoting lesbianism to my daughter as we driving to school. This song they playing with Drake. Y'all worried about the delivery? These niggas talking about killing each other. That nigga Thug said, nigga, I shot at your mama. You don't mention me no more. He really shot that nigga mama. And y'all worried about my delivery? These niggas are confessing to murders on songs. And y'all worried about my delivery? The conditions of black sucking them, talking about booty hole. Y'all worried about my delivery? Come on, don't be hypocrites, black people. Y'all can't listen to this music if y'all so caught up in my delivery. The delivery? I like girls kissing girls where I'm from, and that's on the radio.
Look here, man. Can I start?
Hey, go ahead, brother.
Okay, so the first part of that is Charleston White was on Cam Newton's podcast, and Cam Newton asked him about why do he think people have so much disdain about him, and he gave introduction. He gave a reason, and then Cam Newton followed up with, "I really think, man, it's just your delivery." The same shit they were trying to say about Kevin Samuels was, it ain't what you say, it ain't what you say, it's the delivery.
Yeah.
Now y'all know me to be a person who appreciates raw delivery, because ain't nobody got time to play with y'all.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time to pussyfoot and softly tell y'all the rights and the wrongs.
Right.
So there's a lot of hatred for Charleston White, and we talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the examples of you can't hate everything about everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even a broken clock strikes twice a day. You know what I'm saying? So are we going to hate everything about Charleston White when this part of what he said is absolutely, to me, in my mind, accurate?
It is.
Because I saw somebody put up a post saying, these are the people that we leaving behind in 2023. And they had a picture of him. I said, why? Why are we leaving him behind? Because some of the stuff he says is what we don't want to hear, which is the truth. I don't want to hear nobody telling my daughter I like girls. I'm with him on that.
I'm with them on that too.
So go ahead, because you are a father. Go ahead with that.
Yeah, I'm with them on that too. I'm protecting my daughter from these distractions.
Yeah.
Some of the distractions is some of the music, is some of the cartoons. Shout outs to the good cartoons. Craig on the Creek. Craig on the Creek is my shit, bro. Both me and my daughter be watching that. But anyway, yeah. Shout outs to Cartoon Network. You made a good, fantastic show. But anyway, but yeah, protecting my daughter from these distractions.
Right.
Protecting our children from these distractions. And yeah, we can't always protect them because we're not always there, but making sure that we getting them focused so they can tap into their superpower. Because it's a lot of distractions. And it's a lot of different ways. Gangs, thugging, right? That's been a distraction that's been happening a lot in our community. Our young men, our young women as well, getting misguided, guided into the wrong path, wanting the quick money and this and that, wanted to take, wanted to grab, wanted to steal, instead of wanting to discover your power and heal.
Yeah, no, I think that's important, like you said, discovering your power and heal. Because for me, my process was so crazy, and I'm sure so many people can relate. Realizing my superpower was this one revelation, and I guess I realized it by seeing how many people I was able to connect that was able to benefit or gain from the connection. But my process was so crazy. So for one, Charleston White, I definitely love how he speaks the truth, because I can tell you as a public speaker to myself, it's a lot to get up in front of people and say how you really feel. You're worried about who listening to you. Is your grammar proper? Did you curse too many times? Did you say nigga or not? You know what I'm saying? So when you consume with so many concerns of public reception, right? So when I went through connecting people, boom, 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 then I went through, man, I feel like I'm missing the money because I'm connecting people. Then I have so many relationships out here because I wasn't doing it for the money. I was literally doing it because Wayne needs to be at this school. His gift is different from mine. It needs to be here. Dylan's gift is different from mine. It needs to be exposed. So I think when you're going through this process of revelation, you got to be okay with knowing people going to judge you. You got to be okay with knowing you're going to mess some shit up. Some stuff some stuff gonna be dropped and it's gonna be motivational to somebody. Some stuff, a lot of times that motivation comes from your slip ups because you're encouraging to somebody to keep moving. So I think for the youth that's listening and the adults, be okay with slipping up. Be okay with people condemning you for your gift, because it's gonna be so many people that judge it. Charleston talked about, man, when I was out here just doing all this community work, y'all didn't give a damn.
Exactly.
But as soon as I started talking like a regular nigga in the hood, that's when y'all either listened or didn't listen. But guess what? He get paid to be on podcasts.
He do.
And every real person I know really actually like the brother. It's only people who are, in this subconscious type of, they think their way is the way. You know what I mean? But when I talk to people who out here really with their feet boots to the ground, they don't have a problem with truth tellers. You know what I mean? So I think you got to find your crowd and service and nurture them.
And Keith, I wanted to say, like, brother, I called you and I told you this already about, I think 2 times, telling you this on the 3rd time, live on Motivational Shit, bro. Just, I really appreciate it, bro. Like, you looked out for me, brother. Like, for real. You really looked out for me, man. Like,
I appreciate your
love,
gift,
brother.
Now, ever since I met you guys this time last year, I was like, I call Dylan all the time when something hit my head. Like, bro, when I started saying the new norm is collaboration over competition back in like 2019, I didn't know the new norm was going to be branded as this whole thing because of the pandemic. So it was like, for one, I had a preconception of a saying, but it meant something totally different. So it put it on the forefront, because whenever everybody started saying the new norm, people would be like, "Oh, Keith, you always say it." So it gave me a platform to say why I said it. It's collaboration over competition. But in that process, I called Dylan a couple times. I was like, man, if these niggas would follow you brothers lead on how you're actually collaborate. Because both of y'all gonna show up and put on whatever shirt that you believe in their mission. And you're gonna serve whether it's needed in the back or the front. And I've learned a lot from you guys. I've been going to places now and they like, where your father first stuff? I'm like, well, today it was about you, so give me your shirt. You know what I mean? And that's something I definitely learned from watching you brothers, because y'all got brands. You got platforms. So you could easily have every reason to say, man, I got to focus on me. But and every time it's like, nah, I'm here to elevate whatever you guys are doing because I believe in it for real. So, I think the new norm is us.
We are the new norm.
We are.
And just circling on that is why I've created this concept, which is the leg, which is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Just to create a actual full circle of brotherhood, especially particularly black men, just to show we can collab. The talents that I got, I'm not the best of talker. Everybody say I host well, and everybody say I do speak good.
Right.
Yeah, I can, but I don't want to be the guy that has to say things this way. I had somebody tell me in the NAACP, because I was trying to be in that area. They said, no, you need to stay over there because you're going to say what we can't say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this thing of being brash and, military. They taught me just to be straightforward, say what needs to be said, but also some things that need to be said to the kids. Wayne, you're great at that. Keith, you're great at that. I'm probably not the best of being moving around as much as I can, not because I can't, because of my work. So I'm looking to create a plethora of brothers, and everybody helps everybody in whatever pocket. And that's how we need to move. We've gotten away from that. I look at the Black Panthers, man, and I look at organizations in the past. Everybody plays a particular part. And if we're talking about what we got to do for the kids, it takes everybody to be. I should be able to send my son up here to talk to Keith about this. I should be able to take my son, send him to talk to Wayne about this, or talk to whoever about some things that I don't have the answers to. And we want to be the person to have the answer to everything to prop up our own narcissism.
Yeah.
I don't work like that.
Yeah. Nah, and I think that's what it is, narcissism. One thing I've heard lately is, women mainly say you gaslight or you're a narcissist.
I sure do gaslight.
I'm proud. So I hear that so much, right? But what I think it is, a lot of times is people not wanting to hear your truth. Whatever you're truthfully standing on, you should be able to say it to your people, because if you love someone, you're really going to be okay with it beyond the initial offense it might hit you with. Because like what you said, you should be able to send your son. I've put my son in so many people's hands around here. Like I remember when I was going through my whole Miami sabbatical, I would call my friends and say, hey, I need you to tap in with Dre. I need you to take him here. Hey, this event is going on. I got these tickets. I remember we sent like 100 people to the Ice Cube Big 3 game with my partner Allen, and the Big 3 in Trinidad came out because him and his wife managed Trinidad.
Right.
I'm in Miami trying to figure myself out. Yeah. I'm sitting on the back of my pickup truck eating chicken with another homeless brother, right? And I'm able to see these updates from these kids smiling. These people saying, hey, man, this is awesome. If I wanted to hold that for myself, I would just be like, nah, brother, there's no way I can pull this off because I'm literally in Miami. But it takes for this brotherhood for people to say, nah, whatever you standing on, I'm standing on. Because like you said, I don't feel like I'm the best motivational speaker. I feel like I drop jewels in conversation.
There you go.
But as far as standing up and doing what you do, Wayne, that's not my gift. And I know that. So I say, oh, this brother got something that more people need to see. This person has a voice, has a willingness and a courage. Why would I hold any platform? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think this year we're going to have to just start calling out suckers who ain't standing on business about this collaboration.
I got you. Hey, stand on business.
Stand on business.
Standing on business.
Standing on business.
I stand on business.
Shout out to King Harris.
And
hey, you know what? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But looking at a situation like that, when we're talking about tapping into kids' superpowers, and then we got a situation like King Harris versus his very well-known popular dad, T.I., who has tried to put everything in his hands, and it appears that at the current moment, it has not gone too well. You know what I'm saying? So is there a lot of that you see where the child is just a goddamn knucklehead? What do you do for that?
Majority of the cases I dealt with, it's been a few of them. It's been a few, but it hasn't been the majority.
Okay.
And
because the narrative is parents ain't there enough. And I actually do not believe that parents aren't there enough. I think a lot of things are in the way that the parent doesn't have help with or knowledge of doing. That's what I think.
I mean, for me, what I've noticed, I remember one time I commented on something that Tip was going through with his wife. I think it was probably something about King, because it was something with me defending how he handled something.
It's always been about King.
Yeah, it wasn't the most recent situation. It was probably the situation before that. And I remember his Tiny, she reposted it because I was, saying how she always stands by her man. So I think that's the big thing. When I see the problem, it's because the husband and the wife or the child and the co-parents, they don't see eye to eye. Because if the mother, like when I would get out of line, my dad was standing on business, as you say. And for the people on YouTube can see this cut, that came from Keith Lewis Sr., from me talking junk back to him at 14 and him putting them 1-2s on me. And all my mama can say is, I told you to stop talking to your daddy like that. Nowadays, it's, you don't put your hand on these kids, I'm calling the police on you. And so just imagine us as Black fathers, our hands are tied so many ways. You try to go discipline your child without that woman standing in allegiance with you. well, you might as well have some bond money about your own kid.
Right.
Because it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
it's really crazy out here. So what Tip has went through, and I think what he does great, he's himself no matter what. Like he gonna put his son in the chokehold. He gonna let you know, hey, you embarrassing yourself and his family. But he's still gonna be with him the very next day. They gonna be doing an interview together. They gonna do shows. What was the last thing? He turned the club promoters up because they promoted him.
Yeah.
And you already know that was something else King probably had did.
Yeah.
And,
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he just like, oh yeah, me and my pop's gonna be there. And he letting his son know, boy, this how you stand on business for real. You go tell these people I'm shutting everything down. Ain't nothing moving if y'all don't pay me and mine's our money.
Exactly.
So I just think
Exactly.
for us, man, for us black men, I'm speaking to us, we need more committed relationships so we can actually stand on our business with that child's mother or the grandparent so we can feel comfortable to be able to actually lead, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to, for all our people that's tapping in, that's watching this, can a nigga get some subscribers?
Can a nigga get some subscriptions?
Go ahead and subscribe and like and share this. But I want to go to our next clip because this is what happened. Just like what you were saying, that father plays such a pivotal role. And the woman got to be lying. Okay, so like you had all that went down. I don't see no man there.
No, man.
No man there. And I'm saying in majority of those kids, I bet they don't have a male figure there. A uncle, a father, something. But that's the importance of a man, because a man would have went in there and stopped that. A man would have went in there and stopped. Just the man's presence. Just imagine all that happened and Keith just shows up. Keith big and swole. All the kids gonna cut that out.
Probably just the voice.
Yeah,
Just the
exactly.
voice.
Exactly, just the voice.
This is a part of the problem in the response is the lack of accountability where the parent will say, well, he ain't trying to be a daddy. I was just throwing the alley for Keith right there. Go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, I think for me, I can say from my transparency, my oldest daughter called me a loser yesterday. So I'm fresh off these emotions. And it was all because what happens is when you give your guidance, because they're used to seeing it spotted, you know what I mean? It seems like you almost like an outside nigga.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter literally called me Keith in the text yesterday. After, if anybody's seen, she just got a car a couple of months ago. But because the car has issues, she has things that she's going through. Now you're the innocent little girl that doesn't know what to do about this car. But the reality of it is if you were to listen when I told you your insurance was going to be too high, this was going to be the situation. But I'm the savior when I'm able to use my relationships to get you a car with little to no down payment. But then once things go wrong and it can't be fixed as easily as you want it to be, now I'm a loser. And that's only can be said when it's stamped by the mother. That is not said when a mother is like, how dare you talk to your daddy that way?
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's been realizing by being transparent about my own transgressions and my own shit. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one who goes through this. I talk to fathers every week where they have some traumatic story of no respect being given. And it's cool when, like, like your daughter's, how old is she like now?
She's 9.
9. Like, that's a beautiful age. But once they get to that 20
Yeah, 20.
and they don't start having male interaction, when they don't start feeling themselves because they got all that hair and them lashes on, they think that you're equal. I mean, it's really a point where we have to be so confident that what we're doing is right as parents, because we're trying to prevent them from going down the same path we went or from a path that's obvious they're going to go.
Yeah.
So I think for us this year with I'm a Father First, we're going to spend a lot of time with fathers in mental health circles. Like, we've been doing those Tuesday night calls.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the event we're going to, I know we're going to speak specifically about what's coming up, but taking these fathers and their daughters and their sons to see Hamilton is so they can have a time to interact in a classy environment such as the Fox, and be able to go and spend a little one-on-one time. So hopefully these memories start building up in said child's brain so they can be like, this man does love me. This man will sacrifice whatever for me, and I won't be such a disrespectful child to him just because he hasn't done things the way I feel he should do it. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's just building strength in the relationship.
Facts.
Man.
What you got?
No, that was just a whole bar right there. I think because this is my position as a father who has 2 boys, and one of them's way in New York, the other one is in Florida, and I'm hardly there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it does take the assistance of the mother when you are from a distance.
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen 2 different responses where on one side, I get that I'm a great dad. And on the other side is I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think too many times where a parent, it does happen where a parent has favorites.
Yeah.
It does happen in reality. But I think at the end of the day, for the most part, when you love your kids, you love your kids. And if they come from separate environments, that's by my ignorance, irresponsible semen. Come on.
Irresponsible semen. That's
you know, I was shooting over here and shooting over there. You know what I'm saying? I was Kobe Bryant with the shot. Bow. I was shooting everywhere. So now it's disdain that's created by something I created.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what is confused is, no, we do want to still be a part of fix. I think what happens in some of the households is the mother saying, you have a sole obligation to me first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the child is secondary, or we're a package deal. Honest dialing here. If we're not together, that's now my general concern.
Mm-hmm.
I have a concern for you as a loving person of you, but you can't obligate me or give me ownership of you, or you have ownership of my responsibility to you. Exactly. And that becomes a part of the fight when the whole deal should be what's best for the child now, although me and you ain't together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of fathers deal with that situation when it comes to parenting. Right. That's yeah. So, but like to piggyback on, all in all, man, we deal with, as fathers, we need to get our respect, because you got fathers that's active, fathers that's doing things, even in my own personal story with my daughter. It's certain things that my ex-wife disagrees with that I'm telling my daughter. Like, I told my daughter Santa Claus wasn't real because I want to give her to the truth, expose her to the truth.
Mm-hmm. How dare you tell your child the truth?
Exactly.
What is wrong with you, man?
It busts into a whole argument. bust into a whole argument. You know, how I operate with my daughter, I keep things real and I explain things thoroughly, but I also empower her. So, you know, and sometimes the ex-wife, sometimes the woman wants you to do everything according to her standards.
Look.
You know, but it's like, look, let me be a father.
Yes.
Let me be a father. And sometimes it's an issue with the grandparents. Sometimes, you know, she might not like how the grandparents raising because the grandparents stuck in their ways. But at the same time, the grandparent was there and raised his son, me, as a man. You see how productive I am. I ain't got no legal troubles. I ain't on the run for no law. Ain't nothing that my pops is telling her. Allegedly. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, you know, let the father be a father.
Yeah.
And you got to understand in different parentings, yes, that father might have a different idea, a different thing he's going to teach the daughter or the son. Let that be. Right. So, you know, man, that's just, man, you know, this is my whole gripe with it, man. That's
oh, yeah. Nah, but I would say, like, back into the tune of what you said, tapping into your child's superpowers, because we do know when you get into that co-parenting part, that's gonna take the car on 166. So I would say, you know, just when it comes to our children, man, like with my youngest son, we've been able to find a connector with his whole YouTube infatuation. Now, of course, you know, the first thing people say is make sure you're monitoring it. And I have the YouTube on my phone, so that's cool. But we do know, you know, technology is a dark tunnel, but you got to be willing to let them experience something, you know? So for me, when I see it, like I tell him all the time, if I was as dedicated to as I'm a father first if I were as dedicated, blah, 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 to I'm a father first as he is to create his YouTube skits and shorts and reels, man, this thing will be out of here. Because that dude will wake up at 8:15 and will literally make content until 12 at night. And I know it's different when you don't have bills, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have family that's relying on you, but he's embracing his childhood. All his stuff is Roblox and these little games and stuff. And it's not him trying to look like a little rapper. His mother doesn't make him look like a clone of a man that she wants to date. You know what I mean? Because so, you know, so many of these babies looking like they little dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Got the chain, got the gold teeth.
All they need to do is spray the beard on.
All they got to do is spray the beard. You got your whole made up man.
You got your son in front of a 4x4 Camaro and some Gucci.
And he's 6.
He's 6. With waves in his head, the cleanest of waves.
So for me, I've been enjoying to watch King grow up. And then my oldest son, you know, he got a chance to be on Disney. And I thought that was going to be like, wow for him. And he was excited about it, but it gave him a chance to know that that's not what he wants to do. But he does want to do production. He wants to be behind the camera. So it was funny to me because I didn't know if it was lack of confidence or if it was, you know, just where his heart was at. And it seems like that's just really where his heart is, you know. So I think for me, for each child, even my daughter, you know, she wants to be a model. All right, let's go. We're going to do whatever we got to do. You want to do makeup? We're going to get you some clients. So, you know, those are the times with her that I'm the greatest daddy, you know, because daddy can put you in this makeup shoot. Daddy can get you on doing makeup for a client and get paid. So it's like, but I think what we have to do is be okay with the highs and lows with everyone. You know what I mean? It's almost looking at your child as if they're your paycheck almost. So if you know that person is holding your check, you're going to be a little different with them because you want to get that money up out of that situation. So to me, I have to look at my children as my biggest investment. You know, I don't know when it's going to pay back in the way I desire it to, but if nothing else, if they can grow up to be healthy, productive adults, then I've done what I best know how to do, you know? So that's my superpower, being patient with them. Because my parents had to be patient with me.
Hey, definitely. And, you know, also on the super tip, I want to go to the post, right? And this is the power, just the power of a child.
My bad. I got something I want to throw in there that I had that I found actually last night. It's interesting that this is our topic.
Oh hey, oh 紅日光，當是天。
That is
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all have that.
Yeah.
Man, if that don't make you be okay with being disciplinarian for the family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that ain't nothing but a bunch of young mamas running around on some ratchet stuff.
So,
I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
Little toddlers,
Little toddlers, not toddlers, toddlers. And but see, so you know what's so crazy about this whole politically correct world now? We can sit there and we have to watch the demise of our culture.
Yeah.
You know, but we're not. But that's what they want us to do. They want us to sit the hell back, shut up, be discombobulated, no leadership, and then before you know it, it's just gonna be a whole bunch of toddlers running around.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if you have this set section of blacks that are successful, right? But that's a small percentage of us. We got way more that is living in the hood trying to figure out how to live under $20,000 a year than people who are literally making 150, 200K a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like you can have that one little, my brother calls it black elitism. I don't know if that's the real word, but where you have this group of people that are Greek, they're in these little social groups and their kids are in these, they do all this stuff. So when they grow up, they've already been positioned to succeed. But if that's only 12% of us and 88% of us are living below this poverty level, boy.
Well, that goes back with we was talking earlier about the whole idea of smash patriarchy. Patriarchy. Look, y'all can't cherry pick patriarchy.
Yeah.
Y'all like the part where it's a man's responsibility to open up the door.
Yeah.
To jump in front of the bullet, to pay all the bills. But guess what? There's another side to this idea of patriarchy where I say, hey, little child, go sit your ass down somewhere and you shut up while I'm talking to my child.
Yeah.
Take that goddamn nappy ass weave out your head. What is them eyelashes? No, that ain't how I want you to. No, cover your goddamn titties up too. Take your ass down somewhere. And no, your ugly ass homegirl can't come over here. This is my house. I pay all these goddamn bills.
God damn it.
God damn it. Shit. Nigga, please.
But no, like man, that's the reality that we live in.
Yeah.
You know, the man naturally brings the structure. Look at the kids. The kids in China is doing martial arts. They's doing like the whole split that little girl did is on some gymnastics level.
Yes.
Kids in America doing something, that's not going to get anything.
Yes.
It's not going to get any revenue, not going to get any, it's not going to glorify the family.
And you as a father telling the mother, what Keith was just talking about, the parents got to be on board with each other saying, hey, I don't want my child to dress like that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even pay child support. So you're saying that I don't have a voice in... Now, the not paying the money is one thing.
Yeah.
But still, you should be able to have a voice because who knows my situation where I don't have the money. Either he do they don't want to pay or whatever it may be. But yet and still, the guidance of the child is still needed.
Yeah.
The guidance is needed whether I pay whatever, I don't pay anything because right now what you're doing is you about to have my daughter on with a microphone in her hand saying hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Because I don't pay child support, I don't have no say in that. Come on, man.
And hands on your knees is giving power to the distraction.
Yeah.
In China, they're focusing on the superpower.
Circles back to what Charleston White just said about the type of music that they playing that my daughter's listening to.
Yep.
Wow. That was
Why is Sexy Red being played?
Why is Sexy Red being played on the radio?
Exactly.
6 o'clock in the morning when I'm taking my child to school and it's on the radio.
It's on the radio promoting lesbianism.
Early in the morning.
And circle back, that was actually the idea of what kind of created your radio cast. I woke up and I was like, why is this on the radio? And I was already delved into this new media realm. And I said, you know what? This is maybe if there's a way to create back to what our job is as creators, tapping into our talents, just to create something brings a balance, another option of what should be heard or what could be heard. This was before podcasts even popped out like that. The independent game was changing, and I felt honored and privileged to work with some of the people that I've met since then that are great talented artists that ain't on this type of music. Yeah, I done met some thug rappers. Yeah, I done met some gangster rappers. Yeah, I done met some people that really are in the streets for real.
Yeah.
I know some rappers that's on the run right now. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. You know what I'm saying? Because of affiliations. But I also know the balance. And that's what it's about, bringing balance.
That's what it's about.
Just had a conversation with your daughter about the balance of what they could hear versus what they do hear.
Exactly.
You know, don't even worry about what you do hear. You gravitate what you should be paying attention to.
What you should be paying attention to, you know? So I want to show this last clip before we get into these events and things that my brother Keith Lewis got.
What's the last clip, Wayne?
No, well, not the last clip, but it's the post. The post about the 6-year-old.
Yeah, I didn't. Let me pull that.
Okay. So basically, it's a 6-year-old, right? Black young man. He started reading after 1 year and 9 months. This kid is already reading, still in diapers. And he got accepted into and don't quote me, it's MENSA, the Mensa program, where they highlight some of the brightest kids. And like, this kid's intelligent, his IQ is on a whole nother level. His IQ is on some Einstein level. So imagine, we already know this kid's superpower, and I don't care what anyone say, that's a superpower to be reading after one, and to be reading on diapers. That's a superpower. So imagine, the parents already know this kid's superpower is being super intelligent. So imagine pouring all of the time, the resources, the energy, the love into this kid, maximizing that potential. And hey, before we know it, we have another Einstein, and a kid that went beyond Einstein level. And this kid has melanin. So that's the power of, like, when you tap into these kids and lead them to the right direction, instead of giving power into the distractions. And throughout this whole discussion, when we talking about kids, we talking about all kids of all races, all cultures, this and that, right? Of course, we give attention to the kids in our own people, because that's who we predominantly deal with. But I want y'all to understand that we're open to assisting all kids, because we are all men that wants to see our kids do better, because there's only one human race, and that's the human race.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
Yeah. So here's the clip of it.
Sorry about the lateness on my end. Yes. So yeah, 6-year-old black boy, Chandler Hughes, becomes one of the youngest members of Mensa.
Yeah, Mensa.
Okay. All right.
And that's amazing. That's amazing right there, man. So, and this is right in Texas. It's amazing. He already got his pen. He already got a pen in his hand and all that.
With the glasses.
With
the suit on.
With the glasses,
Come
with the
on,
suit.
man.
Looking clean. Looking clean, man. Looking clean. And that's what I said on the last podcast. You got to enter the nerd. And what I mean by that is, a nerd is proficient in one or in one or several areas of expertise. This kid is proficient in knowledge and intelligence. Whatever that thing is, you got to be a nerd about it. You got to know the ins and outs about it. And this is what our culture, the black culture, the melanin culture, this is what we need to promote more. This is what we need to prioritize more. This is what we need to give more attention and power and motivation towards. Because at the end of the day, you look at China prioritizes the engineers, the scientists, the healthcares. Then they'll do the athletes and all that. I'm not down in my athlete brothers. I'm not down in that. But I'm just saying, you see how wealthy and you see how organized China is.
So we got to be we got to do the same. We got to give more light towards our brothers that are doing more things in that arena, and we need to show more light more. We need to pay for them to get some strippers. Pay for them to get some strippers, do your job and make sure you go to the brothers that just created a new invention and give them love because
Can
they've
you
been
get
shunned.
a nigga a stripper?
Can you get a nigga a stripper? So hey man, Keith, brother,
Yes, sir.
like man, what's some of the events you got coming on? Some of the events you got coming up, brother.
February 6th, Tuesday night, first January 27th, next Saturday, Fathers Matter. They're having a father's breakfast, and we're giving a jacket, a father first jacket, to one of the brothers, one of the fathers there. So this is a free breakfast. It's next Saturday from like 9 to 12. It's Fathers Matter. Let me get y'all that address real quick. Latrice Rollins has been so awesome. She does great fatherhood work, from policy at the Capitol to programming, so.
Right.
Oh, well, it looks like it's sold out, but it's next Saturday. So that's a blessing. Fathers Matter Breakfast Club. Then the following Tuesday, February 6th, we're taking 20 fathers and their children, preferably fathers and their sons. But of course, we're not discriminating. Like you said, if you have a daughter, that's cool. So that's going to be to see Hamilton at the Fox. So that's from at 7:30 p.m. And then after that, we're launching our fundraising initiative. We got our first building in Athens. We got our first bus. So we're doing a fundraiser to kind of raise the money to insure that bus. We're going to use that to help bring kids to all these programs, So now, even if it's not ours, we can help transport some of these children. And then the building in Athens is going to be used for after school, summer programming, and then just all the things we do, mental health, mindfulness. But we're also going to do a dog's museum, a dog dad's museum. So we're going to highlight Georgia Bulldog athletes and business people, and then just basically have a museum area to highlight these fathers. So we want to make it where people say, hey, when I go to a game, I want to stop by Father First headquarters and see this Dog's Dad Museum.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my passion project for this year, building up the Athens facility, building up the bus, and being able to mobilize everything and get people picked up, transported, exposed, and mentored,
Hey,
So that's what we got, those three. And then we're doing the College Park Skyhawks Father First night. So I'll have the date for that and we'll post it. So we're just going to be doing events, getting fathers together, So right here in College Park, baby.
Hey, love it,
Yes,
love
sir.
it. And where can people find you again, brother?
I'm a Father First on IG. That's IM a Father F1 RST, and that's the website as well. I'mAFatherFirst.org. I am a Father F1 RST.org.
Hey, and that's powerful, man. So y'all make sure y'all definitely subscribe to the Vibe if y'all haven't already.
Yeah, and get one of these jackets too. Get one of these Father First varsity jackets.
Definitely.
Kind of, that's nice colors there too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I love this royal blue one.
Speaking of events, right? I will be participating in an event on February 11th. Shout outs to Frida. And this event is highlighting love, highlighting self-love, highlighting the love between you and your significant other. So y'all make sure y'all take a look at the flyer. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Vibe. Check it out from 6 to 8 p.m. All right. I'm going to be doing a motivational speech there. And I'm also going to be doing a group session highlighting how we could love each other more, So y'all definitely.
Goddamn, Wayne.
Yeah.
That was an evil ass laugh about love.
Right.
I just want to
learn about love more.
Get you some of this love.
Daddy love is in the building.
You may have had many, but you ain't had any.
Oh, but y'all definitely, subscribe to the Vibe. So as we get ready to close out this session, I want to highlight the motivational shit about you, Keith.
Yes, sir.
The motivational shit about you is that you are filled with love.
Amen.
Collaboration.
Yes, sir.
Over competition. The alley loop that you gave me really helped me in my career.
Man, praise God.
And the acknowledgement that you see from my gifts.
Yes, sir.
The acknowledgement that I see from you. So now I point to the viewers. Always remember, every day is another day for you to do some motivational shit. Every day is another day for you to tap into your superpower, to have your kids, to elevate your kids to the next level, for them to become a Super Saiyan, for them to become the greatest version of them. Because inside of them and inside of each and every one of us lies that part of God that is beating, that is thumping, that is urging you to tap into that source, that energy. We are all powerful and we are all created in his image. And we all have the strength, the knowledge, and the awareness to pull from this source. So I ask y'all, confirm your greatness, affirm your greatness, and with your kids, have them focus on what they have abundance of instead of the lack, and train them into that. Zero in on the focus of developing their skills, and then they will acknowledge their greatness inside of them. And when they grow up, they'll be out here doing some motivational shit too. So, hey, let's get it.
Hey,
Let's get it.
Radio Cast.